Welcome to Blackboard Tips and Tricks with Professor Ron. Today, let's go over how you can add course images and icons to your course in Blackboard. Okay, first, I'm going to go over to Course Image, Edit Display Settings. Click that now. All right, Course Image. I'd like to add something cool. Okay, let me navigate to my Help folder, Blackboard Training folder. And I've got here Home Page, Music, Splash, and Color. Okay, that sounds cool. I hope so. All right, we'll click Next. I'm going to adjust it ever so slightly. This image was licensed from Adobe Stock Images, but you can create your own image. You can license them from Adobe or Envato or maybe other sources. Okay, alternative text. I'm going to leave this as mark the image as decorative, course banner on, course card image. Okay, all that looks good. I'm going to save it. Awesome. Isn't that really cool? Okay, so that's our course banner, course image, or I call it a splash page, however you want to look at it or call it. Now, let's go over here to the course content where you see you start here, module 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I just want to add some icons. I'm going to click Edit. Okay, I'm going to scroll down, and we want to add an icon. So the first one I'm going to do is a pencil icon. Looks good. I like that as is. I'm going to save that. And leave the description alone. Decorative image, yeah, I want to leave that alone. Looking good. Awesome. There we go. Start here. Okay. Now, the images I'm adding here, these were licensed from Envato Elements. So my course banner, course image, I licensed from Adobe Stock. And then the icons I'm adding now have been licensed from Envato Elements. I'll leave some info in the description, so if you want to check that out, you can. Let's keep going. Module 1, I want to edit that. And I want to add something, again, something cool. Let's go with folder 1. Good to go on that. Awesome. Description. Mark image as decorative. Yeah, that's what I want. Okay, everything's looking good. So far, so good, as we say. And module 2, I'm going to edit this. All right, image, upload. This will be the blue folder. Looking good. Yes, exactly how I want it. Processing image. Description looks fine. Mark image, mark the image as decorative. Yeah, we're good there. Okay, we've got the splash page. We've got the pencil, the black folder, the blue folder. Let's keep going with our folders here. Okay. I want the red folder next. Looking good. Yeah, everything is as I'd like it. Description, image, accessibility, mark the image as decorative. Yeah, good to go there. All right, we're almost there. Course banner image, start here pencil, module 1 black folder, module 2 blue folder, module 3 red folder, and I want to get module 4. Okay, upload a file, and we're going to use the green folder. Everything looks good. Okay, description looks good. Accessibility, mark the image as decorative. I'm going to save it. Okay, let's go to the Start Here module. And I want to go to the Welcome page. Now, I'd like to add a welcome image and a profile photo. As you can see, well, they're already there, but let's go through if you didn't have them. How can I get them in there? Quick and easy. All right. I'm going to edit content here. Let's go over here. Now, I'm not going to delete it just yet, but I'm going to just pretend it's not there for a moment. You can too. Let's click the plus sign, and let's go to Image. Now, we can upload from device, and I can just click Upload File. Let's do that now. I'll go to my Blackboard training folder. I'll click that. I'll find the image I want. Boom, and boom. I look at it. Preview looks awesome. Cool. I can see I've got some different things I can do here. you look at the original versus, say, if you want it to be, square, you can see it changes it right there. If I want to do, I'll go back to original. So I got original or square. For landscape, I can go 16:10. You can see the ratio change and what it does to the image. You can see 16:9, of course, and then what it does to the image. If I go 4:3, you kind of see changing how much of the image that it's going to use, cropping out, just that ratio part there. If I go down to portrait, 10:16, yeah, at this point, you see, yeah, it's not worth it for this image to use, really any of these settings, but good to know what they can do. And if I'm in portrait and I want to try, well, what is 9:16? So when you change the aspect ratio of this, you can see you're, cropping out, framing out that part of the image. So depending on the image, any of these or one of these or a couple of these may end up working. In this case, as I've gone through all the different aspect ratios, probably not going to work so good to use any of the portrait 10:16, 9:16, or 3:4, landscape 16:10, 16:9, 4:3. I'm going to stick with the original on this one. And, you can also see with your images, you can do stuff like this where, you want to zoom in to the image a little bit. I think it looks pretty good as is on the original. And for my purposes anyway, for this example, I'm going to click next. This is welcome. I'm going to change this. We're going to make it view only. And I'm going to go ahead and mark this image as decorative. I'm not going to worry about alternative text at this point. We're going to call this, well, I'm going to maybe bounce out of here for a second. And got a little helper sheet. Let's go to my helper sheet, and we're going to take from here, welcome to music appreciation. I'll come back to that tool page later. And even if I wanted to add in, alt text, I mean, I could do the same thing. Welcome to music appreciation. It would say, this is an image of, and then my alt text, welcome to music appreciation, something like that. But I'll leave it there, just really both as placeholders, but really, truly, it's decorative. And I'm going to save it. So now I'm going to save what I just did. So now if we delete all this stuff and kind of just walk it through from scratch as though none of it's there, I think, that can probably be super helpful as well. So let me delete. Let me also delete. I know this is kind of a scary part when we do this. And let's save. Uh-oh. Okay. So we don't have it at all, and we want to put it in there. Quick and easy. I'm going to edit content, click the plus. I'm going to go to image. I want to upload the file. I'm going to click the one I know that it is. Get it in there. It looks great. Cool. Dig in the original aspect ratio. I'm not going to do any kind of zoom business there. Going to change display name. Boom. View only. I'll keep the alternative text, although I am going to mark it as decorative. And we're good to go. Save. Pretty quick, isn't it? Now, that's most certainly, one way you can do the image that way. Let me just show you another way that you can play around with these images. Let's edit content. Okay, I'm going to delete that. Okay, and I'm going to save it. Go back to edit content again. Hit the plus sign. And instead of image, let's go to cloud upload. I've already got this connected to my Dropbox. All you'd have to do is if you click on cloud upload, it's going to prompt you to enter your, username and password for whether it's, Dropbox or Google Drive, OneDrive, Box, whatever you're using. You log in, click the cloud up. Basically, you click the cloud upload, and once you do, it's going to have you pick the service that you're using. Then you have to log in and connect it to Blackboard Ultra. And then from there, you'd navigate through your folders. I've already kind of pre-navigated here, but I'll go to the last folder, my course materials for 2024, 2025, which obviously I'll need to update for 2025 and going into 2026, but I've got the images there. I'm going to go over there, click on course images and attachments, and there's my welcome, and I'm going to click it. I'm good with that. I'm going to import. It is importing. It's pretty quick. And same thing. Welcome to music appreciation. Welcome to music appreciation. view only. I'll leave that alternative text while I am marking it as decorative. Just if I was doing alternative text, I'd probably do something like that. The readers are going to say this is an image of, like I said earlier, but there we go. Welcome music appreciation, view only, accessibility, decorative, and we're good to go. We're going to save, going to click save, and we're good with that. Okay. So, other things that you can do if you wanted to maybe do, say, like an image from a URL, I can delete the welcome, save, edit content, click the plus, and let's do. So we can do content collection. Let's go over there to content collection. So we've got the image on lockdown. We've got cloud upload on lockdown. File upload to be from the computer where you're just selecting the files and folders from your computer. In content collection, that's the stuff that you'd have on the back end, say, of Blackboard. So this will take me to the back end of the actual course that I'm in. And this only works, though, if you've, pre-propagated all the stuff back here. So for me, I do actually start with back-end design, more for organizational purposes, changing purposes, editing purposes, and easier for me to navigate through. You don't have to do it this way, but it is another way to do it if you actually design from back end to front end. If you don't, disregard and skip ahead. Okay, so I'll click on course images attachments, and I've already got everything labeled the way that I like it to, from 0, 1 all the way to 10. I want to use the welcome. Okay, I'm going to submit. Good to go. Same idea, really. I was doing earlier. View only. Mark image as decorative. Boom. And I save it. You can do it like that. Now, you could also do the whole URL thing. I don't recommend doing these things from a URL unless you know that it's, you've got some kind of license for it or it's your material. But we do have to be careful about using URLs, especially if there's copyrights involved and you don't have it licensed. But if you did want to do something like, I'll delete that. I'll save. I'll come back. We're going to edit content. Edit. And what if I want to do it this way? Like I want to go maybe content collection, course images. This would just put it in there. Maybe you could do, let me jump out of that. You could also do it like this if you wanted. See, now I'm actually in the tools as a separate tab. I'm in the content collection, but through the tools. So I could just go to course images. It'll propagate there, and then I'm going to click edit, and then I'll grab the permanent URL. I'll copy that, go back to the document, and let's see. I can't do it this way, but we can also play around with this idea as well. Maybe we could do content like that, and then image from URL. We'll put the URL there, and then I want to go back and grab my welcome. We could try something like that. Whatever the URL is, it would, of course, work the same. It's really just another way you can do these things. So you can see, like, so just really honestly through one image of the different ways that you can add images to a Blackboard course, whether, let me hit edit content again. So whether you're going to do it just straight up through image or the content collection, cloud upload, or in my case, I actually opened up another, I logged into Blackboard in 2 instances, two tabs, and went to tools separately so I could actually, snag the URL. But the URL idea works the same if you're grabbing a URL from somewhere else that you actually are allowed and have licensed, or it's open source image material that you're allowed to use. The URL idea does work the same. Okay. In terms of, say, file upload, again, you just find the folder that you need. So, I get it to here, and that's where I'd go. That's my file upload. And I'd find the image, and boom. And same idea. Welcome music appreciation, view only, mark it as decorative. I mean, even if I miss some of this, I probably already did, or I might, but it's not a big deal. You can always go back and fix and edit. the view and download, view only, or accessibility, decorative versus putting in the alt text, or having the alt text as a placeholder until you're, finished everything and decide, okay, hey, you may actually want to have all that alt text, ready to go. It's definitely a good idea. And some things you want to have, view and download, maybe if it's a PowerPoint. For images, I prefer view only. And if it's truly decorative, then I want to leave that alone. So now in this case, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to save, but now I'm going to go back, edit content, and I'm going to take this one out. And let's see, I'm going to save. Okay, and what I want to do, let's go back, let's take a look at this. Okay, I want to make an adjustment here. Okay, I want to go back and put that image in fresh and clean. I'm going to go to my content collection. Click on course images, welcome, submit. Okay, view only, mark as decorative. So I can go back and decide later, is this truly decorative? Or do I want to, make it turn the image as decorative off and then roll with that alternative text? That gives me that choice to be prepared in both scenarios. Okay. We save, and I'm good with this. So it's really all the basics of the images. Now, if I keep going a little more and say, okay, well, I've got an image in here, and this one is 250 by 250. I feel like it's a pretty darn good size across all devices and platforms. You can go bigger if you want. It's totally up to you. I'm going to go ahead and edit. And, see, in this case, I got view only, my name, okay, decorative. So what if I do the scary thing and go delete? Oh no, do you have a backup plan? Well, I'll cancel real quick just to verify placement. Close without said cancel. Let's, no. Fine. Well, I wanted to check out placement, but it's fine. This stuff is pretty easy peasy. Let's do this. Let's get in there and let's go to, in this case, I want to do content collection. Of course, images and attachments, and I want to find my picture. I'm going to put it in there, and we're going to come back over here. I'll make it bigger again. Okay, we'll do view only, mark as decorative, but have some alt text in there in case I decide to go that direction as well. Okay, and I'm going to save it, take a look at some placement, all that kind of good stuff. Yeah, cool. This is great. I got my welcome there. I can go back and adjust my spacing a little bit if I want, but I can see my welcome image, welcome to music appreciation. All my info is there. I can do another discount double check on, all right, let me see. Can I maybe adjust this a little bit? I'm going to check this one. Maybe that may not be what I want, but I want to see. Do I have anything else to maybe? Yeah, that's probably not going to work, but I want to see it. Okay, no, don't like it. Not going to work. First one, yes. Second one, no. Okay, I'm going to come back down, adjust that ever so slightly. I mean, if I want to make it perfectly the way that I like it, I need to do some HTML. Not going to do that in this session today, but yeah, welcome to music appreciation, the welcome image, the welcome message, all the professor, teacher, instructor information, and yeah, that's it. And I think just making sure it's placed in the proper zones. Obviously, this is at the front, and then you got my information, name, office, Zoom, office hours, face-to-face, telephone, email, then the image, and then please go through this information carefully. After you are done, move on to the Start Here module. Okay. I think that's that's cool. I think that will work. That will work. I guess I could, if I wanted to, I could change all this stuff and maybe move it up, but I'll play around, tweak all that kind of stuff later. The important thing is making sure to get the different ways of doing the images. So we're going to leave that for now, and let's go over to essential course information. I have an image right here, and if I want to make changes to that image, I can go over here. I can delete it if I want. Can see I can expand the file. Okay, I can close that expansion. Accessibility score is perfect. Awesome. Loving it. Um, I can say I can click here. What if I want to? Yeah, I'm not going to move with the rows on this one, but why don't I try this? Let's do that. Save. Okay, let's go from scratch. Let's just add it in. And I'm going to do this. We can try uh, maybe content collection first, see how it looks. Course images. I want the banner. So let's try the full music splash. Let's try the music banner color. See how that goes. View only. Mark as decorative. We'll grab a splash of musical notation. We'll get it back to full screen again. Okay. Splash of musical notation. View only. Yeah, decorative. I get both options. Okay, I want to do this. Let's get that. Make sure I have that placeholder. Okay, I'm going to save it. Cool. Yeah, that I'm happy with that. Depending on how you do it, it can have more or less space at the top. And if you want even more control in terms of how everything looks on the pages, you'd have to, you'd have to do HTML, but that's not necessary. There's certainly things you can do with headings and how you put in images and videos, and there's little things you can do, of course, to make it look really amazing without having to worry about doing any inline HTML or scripts or anything like that. But you can certainly go that route too if you want. I do talk about that in other videos. Okay, so I'm happy with that and feeling great. We're going to do, one more check, making sure, okay, how's cool. Yeah, it's good. Where you get probably a little more hefty spaces if you actually put the image where, like on the second one. So I like this flow a little bit better of having it as a standalone top line image there. Okay, cool. So that is essential course information. Playing around with that a little bit, having some fun. And let's see. Welcome, essential course information. Why don't we go to maybe an assignment? Let's go to module 1, the elements of music. And how about say like the module overviews? Now, I've got the same banner there, but, maybe I want to do something different in this regard. So what if I wanted to do this? Maybe I want to change it. See, this is done as its own thing here. Maybe I do this from, how about I'll go to cloud on this one. All right. And let's go. How about we can try a full music splash. Let's see how this one looks. Okay, we'll do view only. All right, and I'm going to take this. We'll find, how about some alt text there, musical notes in black and white. We'll come back, make that full page, full screen. We'll keep that. We'll still mark as decorative, and we'll hold that. And I'll delete this one, at least temporarily. Boom. And go back up. Cool. And I could keep that if I want. Just a different flow for the module overviews if I wanted to do that. All right. I'm going to edit content. Click the plus. I'm going to go back to my content collection, course images. I'm going to go over to my music banner color, submit, view only. I need to, same thing, grab some stuff from my notes here. Okay, so we'll get splash of musical notation. Okay, get it in there. Mark as decorative gives me both options. I'm going to save that. I'm going to come down. Let's take this one out. Okay, save. All right. Let's see, this is a class I'm working on for fall 2025. All right. How's that? Pretty cool? Yes. Let's go with that. That's a module overview. All right. After a module overview, we can go to week 2, elements of 1, elements of music 1, elements of music 1. Got to make sure I can talk today, right? All right. So let's see, what if we were to look at, say, like a journal assignment? And I want to add an image to an assignment. So now you look, I have the image added like inside the assignment, of course. So making sure that we're good with how this one works will be important. And when I click on image, let's say I got upload from device. Let's go to this one. I have so image from URL, and I will do this typically on assignments, but there's a few different ways to do it. In this case, I do have image from URL. So now this is where it can get a little bit scary, but what I'm going to do is, just so I don't lose anything, I'm going to bring some things over. I probably already have it in that document, but never know, just to be safe. If for some reason I forgot, or I lose it, or I delete stuff, by mistake, I want to be able to get it right back in the way that I had it. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and do the scary thing sometimes for us, which is delete. Come back up. This is my music and video journal 1, Charles Lindbergh Brain on Improv. I'm going to come down. I'm going to make sure I save this. And I'm going to go, hey, I want to add an image to this assignment. What are my options? Well, we can go to image from URL. We could of course generate some stuff too, but let's do the image from URL. So if I do image from URL, you can use any URL that's approved, that you like, that you want, that you have licensed, or that has some kind of open access licensing. If I want to do it from the back end of my tools, I would need to have that tab open, and I just go over here like such, and I'll find my musical notes. Maybe it's this one. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, so we'll click edit, and I'll grab the permanent URL in this case. Sorry, I was leaning down for a second to look at the keyboard. Go back, get the image URL, and grab my alt text. Now I copied it, so I don't have to do this again later when I delete it and redo it, but showing you kind of where I get it from. Put my alt text in, boom. And I make sure to scroll down, and I save it. Cool, isn't that? It's really simple. This is one way, and honestly, this will work for any URL. Just be cautious on URLs that you use from the internet that you're allowed to, that you have a license, or that it's open source material that has some kind of educational license, or just make sure you're allowed to use it, bottom line. All right, now same thing. I'm going to go ahead and delete again and look at, I want to try doing images another way. I want to do something cool. I want to do something creative. You just want something different for the assignment. And, while you can do image from URL, what about clicking on the image? So you go to the area there, you see the toolbar. You're like, okay, well, you could put an attachment there. That's not what you're looking to do. You could add a link, but if you want to just straight up play around with this image idea, you can see once you click on upload from device, now, yes, you can drag files, or yes, you can click upload file, which that would be cool. But what about when you click upload from device and then you get stock images from Unsplash or generate images? Let's try it. Stock images from Unsplash. Let's see what we do. And it's picking up right away improvisation and music. If I can say that, improvisation and music. It's picking up words that it's seeing in whether it be the title or the assignment content, but it's grabbing, what it thinks, the most important words are, or whatever. It's grabbing, and this is not too bad. It's pretty good. So then I can scroll through the images. Now this was text that was basically pre-propagated. It grabbed it from what I already had there. It looked for text ideas. I'm like, all right, and it put it in there. This is, the opinions of stock images from Unsplash, in connection with Blackboard, going, hey, they're sifting through your document, your explanation, finding, okay, what is this? What is this? What image? What text can go in the search box that will really bring this assignment to life? That's pretty good. I can't say it's always going to be this on point, but this is pretty good in terms of the search parameters that have been pre-propagated, not by me at all. Okay, so now if I look through, while the search parameters are good, I don't know. I'm not sure if it necessarily mm, does it for me, but maybe I could put, what if I change the parameter? Maybe. Um, I guess the point is not to get the perfect image in this run. That could take some time, but to find something we could use. And I'll leave that alternative text. Cool. I mean, so now you have to spend time with this in terms of the keywords. It's really gonna be it's like, what's gonna work for you? What do you think is gonna work in terms of the image, and what you're trying to get across? I think in this case, I know the video. There's a good bit of piano in this video. There's a rapper. There's a piano. There's some jazz stuff going on. There's actually some different things. Whole videos in terms of like what's happening. In your brain when you're improv, like you're improving jazz music trading fours, or you got rappers, going back and forth. This kind of thing. Really interesting video to say the least. So I don't know if I just want to have a rapper here or a piano or maybe somebody, maybe a jazz musician. But the really the bigger thing is using, how you can generate some pretty cool things. Now, if I go back and say, go back here for the image generation. Let me do this. We'll delete and we'll hit image again, and we'll go to stock images from Unsplash. And let's take a look at what we've got here. Maybe it's a lot of results. I mean, of course, I could just click through and maybe I'll get lucky after clicking for a while to find, something. But if I'm not digging on this, then maybe I just want to put, what if I put jazz band search? Find something. Maybe I still don't get exactly what I'm looking for, but you got to play with the search parameters. And then I got 2,417 results. Yeah, I'd say that's quite a lot. So kind of got to kind of find something. I don't want to do the square. We'll go, let's try 16 to 10. Let's see. Yeah, and it may not actually be exactly right. I'll leave the alternative text there. So, got to do a double take to make sure. Okay. Okay. Now maybe this works, it's like you also got to make sure, okay, well, is it a concert band? Is it symphonic band? Is it an orchestra? Did I actually get a jazz band? I mean, of course, you kind of want to check all those things. Is it maybe like um, some kind of combo type group experiment? But yeah, isn't that cool? So we could spend minutes, hours kind of playing with this idea, but it does give you some options, on Blackboard to work on getting some images generated from Unsplash. Now, let's do another experiment. I'm going to click here. I'm going to delete, and I'm going to go to image, and let's go to generate images. And let's see, what if I'm going to put music, and I may actually have something saved, music. What if I do, I got some keywords saved over here, like piano, guitar, drums, Bach, Beethoven, Mozart. Let's just try maybe music and video journal. Music and video Journal. Let's try there. It just went off that one keyword I did, music. And let's see what we get. I'll make it big again. And it's taking a second. Hopefully it will keep it moving. Generating image. Okay. Yeah. Okay. How about maybe I'll get better results if I do journal. Let's try journal. It can be hit and miss. These things can be hit or miss. Oh, we want to see. Okay. Well, sorry, I'm like tapping my foot on my chair there. Okay. Well, yeah. All right. That's interesting. Um, writing, journal. Okay. Um, how about what if I put welcome to music class, something like that? Giving us some options. I mean, the first one just gave me something kind of futuristically, kind of sorta like a modern future mix in the first image. Guitars. At least I can see guitars, and I could zoom in to see what the rest that's in that picture. Here, more of a journal, and then now we're okay. This is interesting. Not super. Not sure that that's super realistic. Yet the instruments, yeah, how'd they get all those instruments to stand up like that? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that doesn't it captures the attention in the way that I wouldn't want to use. But this one, in terms of what we did, probably one of the cooler ones. Okay, so I'll just put journal. In this case, I'll do decorative. Save that. And that's okay. I can, what can I say? Golly, keep exploring with generating images. You do that. I'll do that as I'm kind of stuttering, muttering through here. But for me, a lot of my images I'll, get through, say, like Envato Elements with a paid license. I'll use Adobe Stock. Adobe Stock and Envato Elements, I use them for a lot of image licensing. And then I'm able to get, not only the files licensed, but the Photoshop files where I can play with it to get it the way I want it to look before I even bring it into Blackboard. It's not necessary that you do any of that in any of your course or class design. You kind of do what you're comfortable with. And if you were doing what I was doing here on the search parameters and the images and you didn't like them, you just have to sit there and tinker. It might take 2 minutes. It could take an hour to find like the stuff that you like. It's totally up to you. And, you got to do your thing. Now I'm going to, for a second, I'll save it, but I do want to come back and make a change. Okay. Now I'll go back. And so I'd love to say that this is always going to be perfect to exactly what you want. But you will have to tinker. The important thing to know is it's there and you've got some really cool tools that you can experiment with. I'm going to go back to image from URL, and I'm going to go back to my notes. Let's see, and I want to not review, sorry. I want to get my image. I want to get back to my notes, get my alternative text. I'm going to get that back in. Okay, and it's back to the original. I'm going to save that. And we're good to go. All right. So that's a few things you can do with assignment, and whether it's image from URL or Unsplash or generating images. All right. Okay, let's do one more thing. I'm gonna go click around for just a second. Let's just clear out, and I could just hit the disclosure triangles to do that. But let's go back to module 1, and let's see. So we got elements. We did the overview. Why don't we go to another module and let's finish with a concert paper. I have the students write go attend a live concert, write a paper on it, and I put an image in there as well. Let's go to week 12, and we're going to scroll down to video and/or concert paper, and I've got an image there. and I want to put it in there. So if we go, let's hit edit, and same idea. Um, okay, got a live picture. I should have that on my notes. Let me double check. But I will get that just in case I forgot or didn't get it in there. Okay, make sure I don't lose anything from the document. Okay. All right, and clicking around, double checking. Okay, file options. Okay, so how about let's just from scratch. Okay, get it out of there. I'm going to save it. I know it's a scary part, but I have access to all this very quickly. And in this case, let's see what are my options here. So I can upload it. Upload from device, stock images from Unsplash, generate images. Cool. Those are great options. I can do image from URL. Content market is not going to help me in this case. I would need content collection. All right, so why don't I do this one? I can go, now maybe you could, but let's see what happens if I do this. I'll put catching shadows in there. That's the one that it is. I'll do view only. It is going to be, in this case, I'll leave the alternative text on there. View only, save. Well, what do you think? Is that cool? That can work too. You know, did it as an attachment. Of course, a way that you could do that. What if I want to change that? And let's go back and try. We'll do. We can, same thing. I can, if I don't want to do attachment or even upload, I can do this. Upload file, and I'll find my catching shadows. Uploads it, preview, hit next. I like this original. I don't want to change the aspect ratio or zoom in or anything. Same idea. We'll do view only. I'll leave the accessibility alternative text there. And we're good. Backspace just once. Make sure it's good to go. Cool. Yeah, so it's a lot of things you can do with images in Blackboard. So these are some of the things that I do. It's not every possible thing or variation, but hopefully I've covered enough in this video to help anybody that is working in Blackboard Learn Ultra to put in images in the various modes or ways that they do it. So yeah, that's a wrap for course images and icons and Blackboard Learn Ultra. I'm Professor Ron with Blackboard Tips and Tricks. I hope you learned a lot. This was informative, educational. Please, leave a comment on the video, share it. I'd love to hear from you. I enjoy making these, and hopefully this helps at least one person out there. All right. We'll see you in the next one. Bye, everybody.